Hello again! Today we continue with yet another Halloween video where we talk about mythical creatures from Philippine folklore. Last time we talked about a vampiric, shape-shifting aswang. Today we will talk about one of my favorite creatures, the Manananggal. This particular story comes from Pampanga and Bulacan, two provinces just north of Metro Manila. On a dark night, three men were heading home after going to a fiesta in a nearby town. Since it was dark and they were getting tired, and since most stories like this start this way anyway, they got lost in the woods. Eventually they came to a clearing where a single, solitary house stood. Its lights were bright and inviting, especially since it was getting dark outside. So they went up to the house and called out. And what did you know? Three beautiful maidens peeked out the window. They were kind and accommodating. They even gave the men food and a place to sleep that night. As they were turning in, though, the men could not sleep for some reason or another. The first man asked his friend,
"So, how'd you like dinner?"
His friend replied,
"I don't know. It was a bit bland. Could have used a little more salt."
Apparently these guys were demanding. The first man answered back,
"Yeah, could have used a little garlic too."
Apparently they were very demanding. He then turned to the third guy.
"How about you? How'd you like dinner?"
The third man answered,
There was a little finger in mine."
Just then, they heard wings flapping, and out the window saw bat-shaped wings on three figures disappearing far into the night. Freaked out, the men realized they were in a house of Manananggal who had just gone out to hunt for children or look for pregnant women so they could feed on their unborn babies. As they were rushing to leave, they found the lower halves of the women's bodies randomly standing around the kitchen.
"Quick, pass the salt."
The first man shouted.
"But I don't have any."
The third man replied.
"Okay then, give me some garlic."
The first man answered back.
I don't carry that around." "Wait, this is a kitchen, right?"
The third man realized. Finally, the second man said,
"Dude, I don't think they'd have any of those lying around."
So, the three men found the next best thing. Under the pot which the ladies used for cooking, they gathered ashes and sprinkled them on top of the half-bodies. And then, they ran. They ran and they ran through the woods they were lost in, running aimlessly anywhere as long as they got away. After a while, they heard flapping wings heading the opposite direction. And soon the cries of the three women echoed in the forest, calling them back, asking them to remove the ash. Eventually dawn broke, and as the sun rose in the sky, the voices of the women grew silent. I like the Manananggal because it is so specific. There are other similar creatures around Asia, like the leak of Indonesia, or the kasu or krasu from Laos and Thailand, or even the nukikubi of Japan. But these come in the form of floating heads, sometimes with entrails still attached. The word Manananggal itself might sound a little odd to some people, but it comes from the root word tanggal, which means to remove. So the Manananggal is someone who removes. That's why if dear old Edward can sparkle in the sunlight, the Manananggal can remove its upper half and fly around, which actually reveals its weak spot. I somehow distinctly remember, when I was younger, seeing a movie or a TV show, I forgot what it was, where a Manananggal's lower half was left behind and randomly walking around a town. You just don't forget images like that. The heroes in that story threw garlic on it and then they ran away. If I'm not mistaken, that killed the Manananggal. So I hope you enjoyed that story. Next time we will look at yet another creature from Philippine folklore. So until then, thanks for watching.